If you like the video, click the like button. Now get. Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Fandom Empire here. I'm Sage. The man down there in that other corner that you're seeing for the first time on YouTube, at least on a Halloween video, is McMahon. And we're here with a Halloween Kills update for y'all today. And there's a lot to talk about. So, we're going to take a little sneak peek behind the curtain here. And we're just going to be honest with you. We're recording two videos today. One's going to come out today. The other one will probably come out tomorrow, maybe Sunday. We'll see what happens. But let's just take a second to admire McMahon's chosen background there. If you don't know what that background is, you probably shouldn't be watching this video. Just saying. Hopefully you and all your loved ones are staying safe during this time. We know the curve's starting to flatten, but we still need to be smart with our choices. And how about a Halloween Kills video for all you? Although this one, just letting you know, isn't going to be the most positive of videos considering what we're talking about. But first off, Fizz, man, how's it going? Thanks for doing this today.
Oh man, I'm excited to be doing one of these finally.
It's taken too long, far too long. It's taken so long that I have almost like a man bun haircut going on, and you have a nice rounded beard, but still haven't gotten rid of that ridiculous hat.
Because it's the Team of Champions.
I thought you had a Patriots hat on there. I guess you don't. Or I guess
Oh,
now
I'm sorry.
Buccaneers.
I'd like to refresh that. I said champions, not cheaters.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, there's no arguing that. You could be the biggest diehard Patriots fan there is, and you can't argue that. So, anyway, though, let's dive headfirst into some Halloween Kills news here, and so Universal and their CEO, whose name I don't have in front of me, not that it matters, sort of put his foot in his mouth when he said, quote, "We intend to release movies in theaters and on video on demand going forward." Well, obviously, that can be interpreted multiple ways, but all the big theater chain openers interpreted that as pretty much disrespecting the theatrical window, which is not good considering that's where most of their money is made. It wasn't a wise comment. It wasn't a very well thought out comment, even if he didn't mean it in that way. And all indications seem to be he did mean it in that way until Comcast stepped in and told him, yeah, you better change your remarks there, bud. Because AMC didn't respond too well to it. AMC and other theaters said stuff along the lines of, Universal tends to come out and do stuff like this before consulting with their partners, So that's not a good look. And the other thing that's not a good look is the idea of disrespecting the theatrical window. Let's go back to Halloween 2018 for a second here, Fizz. $10 million to make, $20 million in, marketing, $30 million total. You have your film made, pretty cheap in today's standards, and it makes $250 million worldwide. That's a $220 million profit. Crazy high. Blumhouse is really good at turning around profits like that, but Blumhouse belongs to Universal, and that's a problem. And so AMC has said they're going to ban releases of Universal films if Universal continues to take that stance. I'm on like both sides of the fence here because both parties have a point. Like if you're a movie company, you should be able to release movies on video on demand, which I'm assuming they will still do. But what the theater companies are worried about is if, I forget Halloween Kills release date. I want to say it's October 18th or 16th. But on that date, the movie theater doesn't want that movie being available at home, and nor should it be. They should have to wait a few weeks at the very least. Now, if they want to release, Joe's Garden and the Orgy from Heaven on video on demand, then they can do that because it's probably not a movie that's appropriate for theaters and doesn't come out doesn't need to be a theatrical release, and it's something really low level and should be video on demand. But Fizz, like, where's your stance with this, man? I'll chime in a second, but like, to me, when I look at this briefly, it's almost mutually assured destruction.
To me, this is the epitome of much ado about nothing. You know, this is a company that said something that, in the grand scheme of things, obviously wasn't taken the way it was intended, because they're not going to pull the big budget things out of theaters. They're not going to.
Well, I don't think the intention was to pull it on. Oh, you mean the movie theater company or Universal? Sorry.
I mean Universal.
So I don't think that was their intent. Their intent was to make them available for both at the same time, which is still going to piss off movie theater companies.
At the end of the day, I don't think it's going to matter too much, you know, because for one thing, theaters can't cut it without the movies, and you can't cut off Universal, because at the end of the day, they still control a third of the major big budget tentpole releases every year.
Halloween, Bond, Jurassic Park, you name it.
Fantastic, fantastic. Fast and the Furious.
Yep.
You know, I mean, you're cutting yourself off from far too large a portion of the theatrical release schedule. You know, and they're never going to do that. You know, all Universal has to do is say, you take a stand now, when the only real things we have coming up are smaller budget things. Because I don't think Universal has any more big budget things that are still scheduled for 2020.
Halloween Kills would be there.
Well, I mean, that doesn't fall into the big budget category.
Well, it kind of does. Like, they didn't spend a fortune on it, but they expect it to make a fortune. It's one of those movies where you don't have to have a bunch of CG, but it's one of their tentpole movies for sure this year. And Bond is out this year too, I believe. I think they backed it up to November or December.
Do they still have Bond? I don't think they do. I think Bond is Sony now.
Is Bond Sony?
I believe so.
Could be so. This is what happens when you don't do your research before going on air, folks. You end up like me.
I think they just had a big battle there a few years ago where Bond went somewhere else, and I think it was Sony.
Might have been. So I'm going to challenge your statement on that just from another perspective, and that is movies will never make remotely close on video on demand as they will in theaters. There's already some proof to back that up. And, like, you know, they can say Trolls did well, but Trolls is still going to fail massively financially. It's shown already. And, that's why I say if these two hardheads can't come on the same page, it's mutually assured destruction. You know, the theaters have such a thin red line between their profit margin and failure that they can't afford to do it. And movie companies could afford to do it on their non-big budget films. Like, the one thing we're going to address in a second is Halloween Kills and could it survive on video on demand. But like a movie like Fast 9, that sounded like someone just got killed by Michael Myers over at McMahon's house. So,
controlling dump trucks is not something I can do.
Halloween's come early. By God, throw in the towel. Wow. Just weird times. For me, it's mutually assured destruction, but obviously it's more challenging for the movie theaters to cut out a company as big as Universal at this point. That would not be smart. But my next question for you, Fizz, is could a movie like Halloween Kills, which is predicted to have a budget anywhere between 15 and 25 million, and then you double it for marketing, so let's say safely it's between 35 and 50 million dollars, can it be successful on video on demand?
Yes.
You do think so?
I mean, it's not going to be the same, but I mean, you know, we use Trolls right now as the example. You know, being the first film of any serious consequence that skipped theatrical release because of, or I shouldn't, that skipped the theatrical release. They still made $100 million.
No, they lost money though. Is the problem?
But that's because it's an animated project.
Yeah.
But I'm saying they made $100 million on Trolls worldwide. $100 million profit on a Halloween movie that you put, let's say, $30 million in is still a $70 million profit.
Yeah. I mean, if they can make $100 million off of it, then I'm going to guess it's closer to $50 million. And I think that Halloween hitting, I mean, it's not a kids movie. Remember, Trolls is. And I do think that matters. There's more kids than adults in the world. That's just the way it works. But like, I think 100 million is doable for them. The question is, are they willing to sacrifice making 200 million or 220 million in favor of a 70 to 100 million budget? That's why everyone keeps. I still see it going around all over Facebook groups, man. Halloween Kills is getting backed up. You know, it's a foregone conclusion. Halloween Kills is getting backed up to 2021. I don't know how many fucking times I need to come on this channel. I don't know if it needs to be Dave McRae over on his channel, the guys that We Watched a Movie, Lee McCoy, you name it. Whether even Bloody Disgusting, for God's sakes, has come out and basically said this movie's not getting backed up in 2021. The only way that happens is if this pandemic gets worse and the company decides that we really don't want this to come out on video on demand. The one thing that scares me in regards to that is Jason Blum has already said, one way or another, Halloween Kills is coming out in 2020. Either it's going to be in theaters or on video on demand. This is before the Universal comments. Jason Blum also said we were about to get the trailer soon, and then one of the producers over there ended up saying that that it's not. Guy's name is slipping my mind, well known too. But anyway, and they're usually on the same page, and they're not. And so it makes me wonder if maybe the movie will get backed up. In my opinion, I don't think there's a chance Halloween Kills is getting backed up out of this year. But that's just me. Because if you back it up to next year, you have so much coming out in the September to November area. It doesn't make sense. You know, I could see Halloween Ends getting backed up next year. But Halloween Kills is staying in this year. I would bet a lot of money on it. How about you, Fizz?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna back it up. I really don't. You know, things. Just looking at the signs of the world as it is, things are starting to reopen even now. So, you know, hopefully by September, October, we're back to business as new usual.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a new usual. But yeah, you know, and you could see prices on things raised. I wouldn't be surprised if like theaters are operating at 50% capacity, if it means that the movie tickets are going to be more expensive. Supply and demand. That simple. I would expect that across all ways of life, to be honest, whether it's fair or not. But the question is, what do you guys think that are watching this video right now? Will Halloween Kills be backed up to 2021, or will it keep its 2020 release date? And also, would you be comfortable just seeing Halloween Kills on video on demand, or is this a movie that you have to see in theater? That's my last question for you, Fizz, that I forgot to ask. If it comes down to it, are you okay with watching Halloween Kills on video on demand?
Absolutely, because no matter how much more comfortable they make theatrical seats, my couch is still more comfortable.
My couch is not, but that's just mine. All right, everybody. Honestly, if you can, give this video a like. It helps out the channel a lot. If you didn't like it, don't give it a like. We know that one guy that likes to keep disliking the videos and mentioning how he's disliking the videos is going to do so. So thanks for giving us the views anyway. But if you like the video, drop a like. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. We usually take the time to get back to all of you. Apologies for the week delay in videos. That's never going to happen again if I can help it. Things have just been sort of crazy and hectic around here, and now you're getting 2 videos, sort of. We're recording 2 in one day. Fizz, thanks for doing this, man.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been a slice that has pineapple, tomato, mushroom, and green pepper on it, and we all know Fizz ain't going for all that. But that's my kind of pizza. Anyways, for Fizz, I'm Sage. This is a Halloween Kills update, and we'll see you next time. And always remember, thank you, Fizz. Because if you look over your right shoulder, you can almost make him out. The boogeyman is indeed